If you love cruising or you're cruise curious, you're in the right place. This is Huddle Adventures. My name is Eddie, and today I have some Carnival cruise news for you. Carnival's been teasing us for the last several days that they were going to make a big announcement on Tuesday, August 12th. And guess what? Today's Tuesday, August 12th, and they did not disappoint. Now, this is going to be great news for Carnival cruise fans who prefer shorter cruise itineraries, but have always wanted to try one of the new Carnival XL class ships. Now, the Carnival XL class ships have only done 6, 7, or 8 night sailings for the most part since the first one launched in 2021. The first XL class ship was Carnival Mardi Gras 2021, then the Carnival Celebration followed in 2022, and the Carnival Jubilee, I believe, was in 2023. So those are the 3 XL class ships. They're the 3 biggest, newest, with the most bells and whistles, and everybody wants to ride on Bolt, the first roller coaster at sea. It's available on all 3 ships. They want to try the new bars. They want to try the XL cruise experience with the Grand Plaza. They're absolutely beautiful ships. We've been blessed. We've been on all 3 of those ships, and Celebration we're on 4 times. We love the XL class ships. Now, the first sailing is going to be a 4-night sailing. I'm sorry, a 5-night sailing. I believe it's going to be May 22nd, 2027. The sailing that's going to follow immediately afterwards will fall on Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to be a 4-night sailing, and they're going to be planning a big celebration for that. It's going to be a special event. I think that's where they're going to celebrate the launching of the 4 or 5 nights, because it's Memorial Day weekend. Makes sense. Now, the other part of this is the Carnival Celebration will be sailing out of Port of Miami with the Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries they sail with now, but with the addition of Celebration Key being added to those itineraries. And that's going to start at the same time in May of 2027. So that's great news, because currently, I'm not for sure, but I think most of the Celebration Key sailings are like the Vista and I believe the Jubilee. I know we have the Jubilee booked. The Jubilee is home ported in Galveston. It sails out of Galveston. And we have an 8-night itinerary scheduled for the fall of 2026. And that will be our first time visiting Celebration Key, because we scheduled so many other cruises in between that, and we just decided, hey, we'll wait, and we'll be checking it out after it's been open for, basically over a year, and that's cool. We like the cruise lines to have time to iron out the wrinkles that they have when they launch anything new. There's a learning curve there, and many people don't realize this, but Celebration Key is not staffed with people from the cruise ship. So these are people that they hired that lived in Grand Bahamas and trained to work there. So they're not going to be as entrenched in the Carnival service culture we're all used to. Now, those of you that have been on any cruise line, you know, the service just blows your mind compared to what we're used to on land. It's friendly, they are attentive, and they work really super hard, and they treat everybody with respect. And I'm not saying they're not doing that in Celebration Key. I'm just saying it might be a little bit different of an experience. We'll see. And like I said, again, they're gonna run into some hiccups, guys. It's inevitable in every new business, any new thing. So we're gonna be going there in the fall of, like I said, 2026, and that'd be our first time there. And again, this is exciting news that the Mardi Gras will be doing the shorter itineraries. But what is motivating that? Well, Royal Caribbean, I can't remember which one of their ships, but one of their big ships that just launched, I believe it's Utopia, just does shorter cruises. So I guess, Carnival's looking at saying they're having great success with that. We can do the same thing with Mardi Gras. Now, I would be interested in seeing what the prices are like, you know, compared to, like, say, a 4 or 5 night cruise on one of the Vista class or one of the Dream class ships. How do they compare to that? I would assume they're going to be more expensive, but who knows? It's just guessing. So before I let you go, I just want to say one thing to you guys. Those of you that are new here or are not familiar with our channel, my wife Laura and I, we do not work in the cruise industry. We don't work in the travel industry. We have no financial ties to any of it. We're not making money on anything from cruise lines. Cruise lines are not giving us free cruises. We're not getting, you know, discounted cruises. We're not getting anything different than if we didn't have a channel. When we book our cruises, we get the same price. You know, we, like say on Carnival, you know, they have special pricing and deals for people based on their loyalty levels. So we get the same deal everybody does on our loyalty level. You know, it's no different. So with that, why am I saying that? Well, lately, it's kind of in fashion to be attacking cruise content creators on social media. And I credit some of that to John Hield for posting on his Facebook page a survey asking if cruise influencers, you know, what role they play in, you know, your decision to book a cruise. Do you watch them? Do you value their opinion, type of thing? And man, the comments are terrible. There's so many, I would say probably 25 to 30% of the comments were negative. And I would say probably 5% of them were just brutal. One gentleman said that they should tie anchors to all the content creators' ankles and throw us in the ocean. So, and what makes people say things like that? It's the false narrative that we're all cruising for free. And why would we be pushing cruising and talking about cruising so much if we weren't getting paid? And now we do get paid to create content. We get paid a little bit for creating content. I spend way more than I will ever make creating content. You know, on cameras, gear, spending my time editing, and then taking these cruises that we get the content from. You know, we're not a licensed business. We don't write off our cruises. There's none of that, and we're not unusual. We're kind of a normal, you know, run-of-the-mill cruise channel in regards to that we're doing it out of love of cruising. You know, so anyways, I want you to feel comfortable taking advice from us and listening to our experiences and taking comfort that it's not being motivated by some company telling us what to say. So we don't operate like that. With that said, I want to thank you for tuning in if you're still here. And, you know, cruise industry takes a beating, and I did a video last week about 9 common cruise myths, and I busted the myths. And I'm going to put that video in the link down below in the description. So if you want to check that out, because that's part of the reason why we started our channel, is because we want to promote cruising, because cruising gets beat down in the media and by people that never stepped foot on a cruise ship. So with that said, guys, have a great one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.